Tonight, from TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida, it's a special Christmas night edition of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Miami Dolphins.
With a December snow blanketing much of the Midwest and Northeast, what a perfect time to be in the Sunshine State as we welcome you to TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. A few minutes prior to us coming on air, this crowd was jolted into action with the introduction of these Jaguars. They're set for football as the Jags are ready to match up with the Miami Dolphins. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass, leading the league here down the final stretch of the year. Guys will say that the numbers and the rankings, they don't matter to him very much, but I don't know how much I actually believe that. Sure, he's team first, but I think everyone would like to see him finish number one, including himself.
On 1st and 10, Ward. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He's got it at the 15. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. They're the favorite, no question. And when they score like that on the opening drive to set the tone, you're the underdog on the other bench. That's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, because you can't bring the home crowd into it. Because you're counting on that to be a part of your equalizer, ride their momentum. But you have to give them something to cheer for. So now what you're worried about is they're better than we are. We can't get going. Are we about to get blown out?
Good news, still a long way to go. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it, but otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
Throwing on first down. Machado, he's got Allen. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up first and goal at the 5.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Suddenly, it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
If you did know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Extra point forthcoming. And it's good to make it 14-0. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force it.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 21-0. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar in some discomfort down there on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. Now it's 2nd and 9. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, that maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
He's got it complete to Perkins. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 15. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Miami's offense set and ready to go. The ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
To throw is Ward on 1st and 10. Going deep for Hopkins. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. Now the try here for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Throwing to start the drive. Machado. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off near the 26. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, He's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there,
and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. It's the fullback. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins open the lead up to 34-0. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
So plenty of fireworks here early. 35-0 now as the kick is away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And I guess right now, as we look at some of his struggles today, the term next play really applies here. He's got to move on.
I love where your head is on that, because that's where his head needs to be. Exactly what you've said. Yes, there have been mistakes made, but he's got to move on and play the next play as if it didn't happen, keep his confidence up. But how about the guys on the defensive side of the ball? They've got to be feeling great about what's going on right now. They've already gotten to him a few times. They want to keep that up. Maybe they can pick off a few more.
Now they've disrupted already for 3 INTs. A gain of 3, 2nd down. This defense for the Dolphins, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you. That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Machado, and that is incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. That's taken on the 25. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Miami set to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Let him know, let him know. Check Bobcat. Watch the twins. Begin. Come 19.
Now Ward on 1st down. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there. With touchdown number 27, that ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Dolphins have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Jaguars getting set to go. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big, this early. But that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. But you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offense coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Come on, D. Check 24, check 24.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. A dump off to the flat for Perkins. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
Going deep for Hopkins. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great effort there with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. That's a heck of a start to this one for him here in the first quarter.
2 receiving touchdowns, just getting the game underway essentially. I mean, there's a long way to go. If I'm on defense, I've got to figure out how to slow this guy down, because when one guy shreds your team, that's demoralizing. Make him spread it around at least. But right now, he's showing no signs of slowing down.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Yeah, they were in field goal range last time out, but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down.
You're not ready. Right there. 54, right there. 54, Mike.
Back to throw. Machado. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Ward throwing on first down. They'll let this go for the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And Charles, think about this offense, and it's kind of a tricky time of the season because you're 14-0, looking to see this one out to the end, but you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench just to rest. How do you approach the rest of this regular season?
I'm telling you, you don't ask the easy stuff, do you? I mean, you created a heck of a situation there, and actually you didn't create it. You presented it, and you're exactly right. It is tricky because your eye has to be on the ultimate prize, which is a Super Bowl.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. It's a big play there for Miami. Typically with catches like that, we talk about the height of the wide receiver, but he's one of the shorter receivers in the NFL.
And it doesn't seem to matter, does it? Put the tape measure away. How about some of these guys under 6 feet tall? Antonio Brown, T.Y. Hilton, and Super Bowl 53 MVP, Julian Edelman.
This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
2nd and goal from the 1.
Check.
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there. Becoming just the 2nd player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Now a handoff here to his running back. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports.
So they keep the ball, but work to do on 2nd and long.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
You definitely would like to have hit on that one, because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Machado, he's got it complete to Perkins. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt.
And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm. Throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
42 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Check, 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 check. Check 4, check 4.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Switch, switch, switch.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. A handoff as they run the counter play. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
Mike, 45. I'm not lying. He's not going to get me.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Here we go. 70 Lions. Check curls, check curls, check curls. Shift, shift. Check 50, check 50.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. It's the fullback. His 21st touchdown of the season.
And the Dolphins are able to add on to their first half lead.
And that's why you have the fullback, Charles. Couldn't get it in the play before with a smaller guy. Turn to a little more power. They score it.
And that has to warm the hearts of a lot of old school football fans. They love when they get to see a little bit of power football.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
54th month.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers, he's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
They really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 23. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or 2 shy of midfield. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
52 yards on the ground for him so far.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's taken down inside the 30. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10". Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. They'll run on 1st down. It's Turner. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. On the give, this is their fullback. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
Brandon, you know, we talk about having wrinkles in a game plan. That was a fold right there. How about that play? Being able to change things up. You think anyone else on the team's going to get the ball? And in that situation, they said...
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff?
Yeah.
Serve as your running play that way. as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
On third down, Machado finding his safety valve here. That's complete. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Hey, check Mike 57.
Looking to throw on second down. Machado, and his throw here's incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath with those guys on the defensive side of the ball. They've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. He'll look to set up his blockers. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books. But it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. On first down, Ward going deep for Hopkins. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. With touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by one more. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The Jaguars ready to go on offense for the final time in this first half. And they've got less than 30 seconds to go here, so not a lot of time to work with.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Machado. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting L.A. Rams. The Cardinals get a vital win there as they move to 8-7 with 2 games left to go. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Tampa Bay Bucks. The Panthers want nothing more than a victory next weekend, as that would ensure they finish with a .500 record. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports.
And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
He's to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case, I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Looking to throw. Machado. And now here's another interception. Picked off at about the 31. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Jaguars back with it on offense.
And fresh off the pick 6. They've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off around the 27. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
And now out come the Jags. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Taking a couple yards shy of midfield.
Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards.
And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here.
40 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times.
Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain, the next 2 to 3 seconds to continue to move people.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His 17th touchdown now on the season.
And the Dolphins get another 3rd-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And now here is another interception. Picked off at about the 31. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. No surprise this offense would be able to convert. They're currently 2nd in the league in first downs, and they pick up one here.
Yeah, not a stat that we talk about a heck of a lot, but it's a vital one. And in this case, it's really vital because what does it do? Keeps their defense off the field, gives them a chance to rest.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Check 26, check 26. Check 26.
Well, they've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. It's the fullback. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
Here comes the Miami defense. They make their way back onto the field. And the interception the last time they were out there ended up leading to a touchdown.
So the only thing they didn't get really was the pick 6 because that's what everyone wants. Take it immediately to the end zone. But their offense capitalized on the takeaway and turned it into the 6 points they were looking for.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Dolphins have got it.
A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing that danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
On first down, it's turned. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
50 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over.
And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
3 buzz. Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Hey, what's the ball?
To throw on 2nd down. Machado, he finds his man, complete. It's Perkins. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
And maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down.
What's the run? Hey, they're running it. Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike.
Back to throw. Machado. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
Dolphins offense returning to the field.
They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in...
Down the numbers. There he goes. He's at the 30. 10. And he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Jacksonville set to go again offensively.
They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 work.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 28, and he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they gave up the pick six, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
54. Line 54. Stop your whining.
To throw on third down. Machado. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They get him. 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
Dolphins offense returning to the field.
And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? Best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
They'll run on 1st down. Turner. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They run the counter now on 1st down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
The end result was brute force on brute force, but think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Strip that ball. 59. Mine's 59. I got you.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. Standing alone with a new NFL record 32nd touchdown.
And the Dolphins are moving closer to a 15-0 record as they extend their lead here.
Point after here coming up. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
And the Jacksonville offense on their way out again as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Let's get it. Right there. 54.
From the gun, Machado. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On 3rd down, Machado. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
The Dolphins ready to take over on offense.
We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I really enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
A give to the fullback on the dive. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is close to a first down as he's tackled at the Jaguars' 37. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
But you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3. Carry here for their fullback. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11.
It's amazing how much advice defensive players get on 3rd down. You hear the bench screaming out, watch the draw, watch the screen, watch the pass here. Very rarely do they reference watching the fullback, and he slipped through and picked up the first down.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. Keep in mind they can still get a first down here as they come up on 2nd and inches. They'll try and run with their fullback. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 44. And the Dolphins come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. Time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Miami, they are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they fall under 500 now as they drop to 7-8. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.